the seniors in the locker room are kind of sad right now. I mean, it's over for them. I told them I loved them and appreciate everything that they did for us. It hits you when you walk off that field for the last time. It hits you. Those guys are pretty emotional in there. Really wanted to try to, get a win. Senior night last week, put a lot into it, and that would have been awesome, to knock off Oklahoma State. Didn't get the job done, so this is the real senior day, honestly. This is the last time that they play, so, poured a lot into it. They gave me a lot of effort, and our attitude was good. The game meant something. I've been answering questions all week about, does this game mean anything? Yeah, it meant a lot. We were playing for conference standings and all that, Central Florida's a heck of a team, heck of a program. They're going through the same stuff we are. I mean, they're 6-6 and get to go to a bowl game. They got good players. They've won a lot of games in this place. So, disappointed how it ended. Disappointed in the losing record. Year one Big 12 knew it was going to be tough, and it was. It's not going to get easier. So, just obviously got a whole lot of work to do. That starts Monday.
Questions?
I think along those lines in the post-game radio, you were talking about not happy with 4-8, not happy with losing the season. With all that said, I know it's hard to encapsulate everything right now, how the season went, but just overall though, did you see, obviously there weren't a lot of peaks, but did you feel like there was something to take out of the season that you can sort of...
just understanding it more than anything. The University of Houston hasn't played Power 5 football in a long time. Played Power 5 teams sporadically, but not week in, week out. That's an adjustment, and we got to keep building. Not happy with 4-8. Nobody is. I've been here before. The same thing happened at the other place when we transitioned, and worked our way out of it. So I've got complete confidence that we can work our way out of it at the University of Houston, and we just got to keep building and keep improving, and eventually we'll get where we want to be.
What is the biggest thing that maybe you've been through the transition before, but what is maybe the biggest thing that you've learned with this group transitioning to Big 12?
Well,
kind of the same way that UCF and the other schools have.
I don't know, because we're in a different time. I'm going to have conversations with what's going to amount to about 60 kids on our roster next week if they're going to get in the transfer portal and leave. How many do we have to replace? We got to replace 18 seniors. I know that, but how many more? Turnover. It's just a different world and a different time to where you have an opportunity to, change your team, improve your team every single year. I can't tell you the amount of hours that's going to go into recruiting in the next 4 weeks. It's a lot. It's more than we put into the season, I can assure you that. So we'll start there with recruiting, and it starts next week with recruiting our team, the current team. It's crazy. So, a lot of work, but we welcome that, and I'm excited about, the one thing about no bowl is you get started for 2024 Monday. And so I'm getting started for 24 on Monday. That's recruiting, that's our own team. That's evaluating offense, evaluating defense, evaluating special teams, coaches, and schemes.
Was there an update on what happened with Donovan then?
He got his bell rung. They waived off targeting. What Hank told me was that it was not targeting, but he got hit pretty good, and they think he hit his head on the ground. And so I just went up to him and said it, because the kid's so tough. He's not going to show any emotion whatsoever, and I could just tell that something wasn't right, and so we pulled him out.
You guys were able to kind of get yourself in the scoring position throughout the first half. What did UCF do differently defensively? What would change in that second half to kind of limit the offense?
They didn't change anything. Our inability to be able to execute and focus was a problem. They got good players and coaches and all that. Was happy with how we started. Third possession was a bad decision on throwing the ball to Cobbs, who got shoved out of bounds. Great play by 14. He's a pro. He's he's a pro. He's a high draft pick at corner. You know, and then we fizzled out on fourth down after that, and then just had a hard time getting things going in the second half. They came out, and I didn't know what we were going to get out of them in the second half, and they turned things up. You know, I thought we were about to go out there and turn things up. We didn't. They did. And so, you know, they outplayed us in the third and fourth quarter.